Right, 60 Tory MPs are demanding that Sadiq Khan bans protests at the Cenotaph after the pro-Palestine activists sparked outrage last weekend.
Yes, a stage for the Palestine Solidarity campaign, and speakers including Jeremy Corbyn was placed directly next to the memorial for Britain's war dead. That was on Saturday.
So we're joined now by immigration lawyer Ivon Sampson. Good morning, Ivon. Good to see you as always. Do you think it was appropriate that memorial, that the stage for these speakers, this pro-Palestine rally, was allowed to take place directly upon, actually, not even next to the memorial, but the stage was built around the Cenotaph, a statue against fascism?
I think there's a balance between the right of freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, protected by Article 12 of the Convention, and then those who do acts that incite violence or hatred towards others. So there is a balance, but I do think that we have strong enough laws to prosecute those that do that, and we should allow people to have free speech and to demonstrate. Otherwise, you attack the very basis of our democracy.
Ivon, do you think we should be concerned, though, as a society, to see foreign conflicts mobilise people in this way on our streets in the UK? It's very troubling to many people.
Look, we live in a multicultural society, especially in London. So if you expect people who come from different backgrounds, different countries, not to be affected by what's going on in their own country, I think we're being a bit naive. I think people are doing protests where they've got family members there and they've got reasons to protest.
We had Suella Braverman recently, Home Secretary, saying that actually multiculturalism has not worked in this country. Some would say that these protests are another demonstration of that. It is more division on the streets of London.
I disagree. Look at our cabinet. I mean, that's an effect of multiculturalism in this country.
Ivon, I would argue that is the effect of good integration into British society. The problem that we're seeing, and what Suella Braverman, I believe, was highlighting, was examples like what we're seeing now, a division between Jewish communities being targeted by other communities in this country. That was the concern. So yes, people from ethnic minorities are able to get to the top of society, which is fantastic, but that doesn't mean there aren't conflicts bubbling under the surface, and we see them on the surface, don't we, with this kind of thing?
I think the rhetoric of Suella Braverman pours fuel on these conflicts. I think the role of the government is to bring communities together. And recently, Justin Welby held a conference with the Jewish leaders, the Muslim leaders, and other faiths. And that's what the government should be doing. Instead of ramping up the rhetoric, divisive comments of the Home Secretary, it's not helpful.
Ivor, obviously when the Ukraine invasion happened, the British people opened their doors to Ukrainian refugees. It was a very successful system. There are similar calls now to welcome refugees from Gaza. Do you think that would be a good idea?
I do think it's a very good idea, because it's a safe, legal route that we've been calling for the last 2 years. So we should take our fair share of refugees when these conflicts occur around the world.
Ivon, sorry to interrupt, but the counter to that is that it is a terrorist hotspot in Gaza, and that there could be the potential for national security concerns here as a result of taking people from Gaza. Also, Arab countries nearby seem to be closing their doors as well. I think you'd struggle to get popularity in this country for that kind of policy, Ivon.
Well, it's not always about popularity, is it? It's about doing the right thing.
Well, I'm sorry, but the government is there to serve the UK people, is it not?
Yes, and apply the laws. So if somebody's a genuine refugee and wants to claim asylum here, we should have safe routes to do that. Look, Lebanon has 22% of its population as refugees. We have 0.6%. It's just a complete lie to say we've been overrun with refugees. It's just simply not true.
OK. We could have potentially 1 million people displaced, of course, from Palestine. We're going to have to bring this up with you another day, Ivon. We've run out of time. I'm so sorry. Still to come today. It's good to see you, Ivon.